Sorry, my computer's slow. Today. I'm slow today. Are you slow today? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like oh, there I am. Ah. I'm feeling like it's taken some time for me to get to this place today, to this spot on my mat, to this room. How are you feeling? So we're gonna do a stretchy class today. I'd like you to focus your body and your mind and your intention on expansion today. Not to the point of overly expressive expansion. I don't want you to lose sight of alignment just so that you can get more length, but instead think of lengthening or reaching from certain parts of the body when it's time. So think of the reach through the top of the head. Think of the reach through the tailbone coming downwards, or through the extension of the arms, or through the legs, or even the extension in a back bend where the knees and chest move apart. So we're looking for my voice, but we're also looking for an ability to coax some height, some openness, some fluid into the body, some fluidity into the body, to open more to a graceful space. So when you're ready, go ahead and lay down on your belly. Place one arm on top of the other. Let your forehead rest onto your arms and allow your eyes to close. We'll start class just like we always do. For those of you who just walked in or haven't looked at the little writing on there, it might be helpful to have a strap or a belt, blankets, blocks. All of those things are really helpful in increasing our ability to kind of go inside and expand from the moment we're in and not try to strive for a moment that we don't have access to right away. So that's why we use props, for many other reasons as well. And because most of you drop away before the end of class, bless you, and your not ability to stay through Shavasana for whatever reason, maybe it's work or kids or frustration with laying down on your back, whatever that might be, we're gonna do a little reading beforehand because I already have you laying down and you can't escape. So stay laying down, start to deepen your breath, feel your inhale and your exhale. Feel how the belly expands and presses towards the earth, and then how we can contract the abdomen with our exhalation, moving the belly button towards the spine. And kind of focusing here on that breath being slow and steady, quiet and gentle. Let your body rest, let your body be aware. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if there are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house and empty it of its furniture, still, treat each house guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. That's our buddy Rumi. Go ahead and take your legs wide apart. Bend both your knees. Windshield wiper your legs from side to side, allowing there to be movement in your hips in your lower back, in your abdomen, wherever that movement needs to be. Let the thighs relax, and maybe as you move the legs from side to side, you feel the front of your thighs or that quadriceps muscle move around on the floor. Maybe not. Maybe that's not something that your body does. Remember that this body, this human body, is a house, and within it we have many guests. And they hide in different spots and different places within our body. So as you stretch and open and explore the body, you might come into contact with a house guest you didn't know was there. Or maybe one you thought you got rid of long ago. One more time from side to side. And let's go ahead and bring your legs to center. Extend the legs down onto the ground. They're going to stay wide here. Press your hands into the earth and come back in whatever form feels best for you to a child's pose. Big toe mounds of the feet together. Belly rests between the thighs. Head rests towards the ground. Or maybe today is the day that you decide that you would like to have a little bit of extra help. And there's a blanket under your forehead. Breathe deeply into your back body. Feel the expansion that comes across the back of the rib cage, but also from the shoulder blades to the hips. Think about how you want to feel this child's pose and where you would work to get a deeper stretch. Would it be the lower back needs more? So would you then create more height under your head or arms so that your buttocks come back down towards your heels? Or maybe you need to feel it more in the upper body, in which case maybe you even consider placing a blanket between the buttocks and the heels and stretching your body forward, deeper, but still having contact under the glutes. From here, we're going to walk the body to the left, stretching as far to the left as we can and drawing that left hip and right hip back. Reaching through that right arm, letting the body reach as far as it feels comfortable. If this is not okay with your knees, you can always do this laying down on the ground and just laying on your belly and reaching to the left. There are ways to do yoga for everybody at all times. Let's take it all the way across to the right. Move your body slow, steady, soft, extending, reaching, opening. And then let's come towards the center again, removing our blankets that we were just using if we were using them. Move forward into hands and knees pose. You know the drill. The hands come underneath of the shoulders, the knees underneath of your hips. We're going to inhale, let there be extension in the front of the body. Again, thinking of the stretch here. Where can we reach? Where can we enliven? Where can we get into? Exhaling, rounding the spine, feeling the body curl. A lot of times we focus on so many things in yoga. We think about how we can make ourselves stronger, how we can make ourselves leaner, toner, how we can get, what was, when I was a kid, I wanted Madonna's arms, how we can get our butt higher, all of those things. How can we get into a crazier position? And then some of us have been in here going, how can I become enlightened? When can I reach the God state? But let's all just work together, all dozen or more of us, at this time to just be a part of our own bodies, to look within our own house, to make friends with what we find inside. One more. Awesome. We're going to stay in hands and knees for a moment and bring the spine to a neutral position. And we're going to lift the heels of the hands. And we're going to do this one at a time at first. So you're going to lift the heels of the hand, or left hand or right, you pick, and then lower the heel of the hand down. Lift and lower, just to try and stretch out our hands a little bit, but also to strengthen the wrist and the forearm. We end up on our hands a lot in practice, so it's nice to have a little bit more strength here, a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more openness. One more. Beautiful. Now let's try it on the other side. Lift and lower. This one's a tighter side for me. Lower. Lift. You might feel this warming up your forearms a little bit. No worries. Let's do about two more. Lift the heel of the hand and lower. Lift and lower. Beautiful. Would you like to try both? And down. Both. And down. Let's do two more. Both. And down. One more. Both. And down. Beautiful. Walk your hands forward again. Stretch out the tops of those arms. Stretch out through your forearms. Push your hips back. Reach your chest down towards the ground. See if you can deepen yourself into a puppy pose. So your hips are going to stay nice and high up. We're bringing our chest as close to the earth as we want to. And then let's come right back up again. Keep that extension of your arms, and let's take that puppy and grow it into a dog. Tuck your toes, fold into your down dog. Adjust your feet as needed. Maybe they need to be a little wider this morning, maybe not. Walk out your dog. I think down dog teaches us a lot about how our bodies are, right? You come into your down dog first thing in the morning and you're like, okay. Maybe some mornings it's like, this is a great pose and I'm feeling everything's alive. And some mornings you're like, this is a forward fold or a plank, I can't bend. One more time. Looking for that stretch. Lift your heels as high as you can. Reach your buttocks to the sky. Bring your chest a little closer to your thighs. Open up that whole back of your body. Not just the back of your legs, because we have the heels lifted. We're not as focused there, but hopefully we can get into the lower back, into the broadness of the upper back. And then lower your heels wherever they go. Maybe they touch today. Maybe today's not the touch the pose, the touch the heels day. Bend your knees a little bit, stretch your buttocks back a little more, find some space in the glutes, in the hips, stretch, lengthen, open. And then from here, start to walk your feet forward towards your hands. Get there whatever way you can. Take your time if you need to. Once you get to the front of your mat, make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. And if you're using blocks today, you can go ahead and place them next to your feet. You might not know you need them until you need them. Press through your feet, rise all the way up, adjust the clothing because, you know, yoga. Reach the arms up. Grab that right wrist, pull gently to the left. I know some of us have a tendency to tug that arm as hard as we can. Don't tug, just a gentle pull. Imagine that you're trying to coax movement, not force movement. Inhale, come to center. Grab your left wrist, do the same thing. Don't pull so that you can just yank out of the socket. Gentle coaxing. You have probably heard that you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. So be a little honey to your body. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, reach the arms down by your sides. Roll the shoulders back to help lift the center of your chest. Find grounding here, and let's go ahead and find that beginning portion of lengthening in both directions. So reaching the top of the head up as you draw down through the tail. Letting there be strength and support from your legs, but letting that spine flourish, letting that spine do what it wants to do, that nice, long, beautiful spine. And then let's find this left arm and place it behind our back gently. Reach behind you, grab the wrist with your right hand. Again, not pulling, gently coaxing left arm down. Pull up and in through the lower belly. Just give yourself a moment here. And then release, grab your right wrist, do the same thing. Just a coax, not a pull, not a drag. And then release, reach your arms all the way up again. Big stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Bend both your knees, let your body come into that forward fold, whatever feels right for you right now. You're shifting the weight a little more forward towards the balls of the feet so that you can get a little bit more length into the back of the legs. Finding that space though. And then we're going to come into that Ardha, so we're going to come up halfway, hands to the blocks or to the floor, and just find that space through the top of the head. So your tailbone's reaching back and the top of the head's coming down, or coming forward. Pull up and in through the lower belly. Take one more breath here. And then once again, come into that forward fold. For those of you using blocks, go ahead and just lower the blocks down. Shift that weight forward towards the balls of the feet. Let there be length in the back of the legs. Again, coaxing, not pushing, not forcing. Go ahead and do it again. Blocks come to a higher height for those of you who are using them, or fingertips come to the earth. Lifting, reaching the top of the head away. Tailbone draws back, finding space in the back of the legs. Inner thighs rolling back here, as if they're going to try and reach towards the back of the wall. One more breath. Activating as we lower down, forward fold. Seeing if that did anything at all. If it didn't, it's okay. Beautiful. Go ahead and lift this right foot off the earth. Step it back, come into a lunge. Right leg back nice and far behind you. Left knee over top of the ankle. Push back through your right heel. Blanket under the knee when we lower it if you need to. Right knee to the floor. Untuck your toes. Arms come up. Let the hips come forward. Let the arms come to the sky. So drawing, letting gravity help us here. You can also have your hands on blocks if you need to. Letting gravity help you here. Letting that left knee stay over the ankle. Push through your left big toe so the knee doesn't sway open. Let your right thigh move towards midline. Exhale, lower the hands down to your blocks or floor. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Push through your left foot as you carry the right foot forward. Halfway up. Let the top of your head come forward. Make sure your hips are over top of your heels, or ankles, I should say. Exhale, forward fold. Take it right back down. Inhale, left leg comes back, knee to the earth. So push back first, and then draw that knee down. Untuck your toes, rise up. Find that stretch. Without overdoing it, find length through the top of the head, reach through the top of the head, draw the tailbone down, let the hips come forward, keep the right knee over your ankle, structure in the body so the right knee is coming in as you push through that right big toe, your left thigh is engaged and moving towards midline as well. We don't just drop into lunges. We reach through our lunge. One more breath. Exhale, float the hands down again. Tuck your back toes. Inhale, lift your back knee. Push through that heel. Go ahead and step forward. Blocks up, halfway. Find that stretch, maybe a little bit more this time. Maybe you can shift the weight towards the balls of the feet a little bit more here. One more breath. Excellent. Forward fold. Maybe that takes you deep, maybe it doesn't. We're going back for our right leg. Right leg comes back nice and far behind us. Right knee to the floor, untuck your toes. Take your blocks to the highest height if you're using them. If you're not, just place your hands onto your thighs. Pull your lower belly in, up, and strong here. Find hold of your block on the right side. If you're not using the block, you're not using the block. That's okay. The block is going to come from a foot from the right hip, so it's coming out from the side. You're going to place that right hand onto the block or onto the floor or onto a pile of books or onto whatever you have, and then you're going to lift this left arm. The hips stay square as you reach your left arm over to the right. You can take the blocks to whatever height you want. No big deal. Let that right thigh open. Keep breathing. Turn your head in whatever direction works best for you. Nice. Take that left hand back down. Blocks come to the low height again. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Carry your right foot forward. Push through your left foot. Right foot forward. Blocks to the highest height or halfway pose. Stretch. Yes. Just stretch. I hope I'm not off screen when I do that. Here, let's get back a little bit. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Okay, forward fold. Left leg this time, guys. So the left leg comes back. Big, strong step right near your ankle. Left knee to the floor. Blanket under the knee if you need to. Untuck your toes. Hands can come to high blocks or to the thigh. Block or left hand with block is going to come about a foot from your left hip. So when I say a foot, I really mean an arm length. Left hand comes to the block, right arm comes up, drop the hips and reach. Find that big deep stretch here. Soften your breath. Try not to shove your left shoulder into your ear. Think of length. How can we lengthen the body? How can we reach? In what directions do we reach? 3, 2, 1. Take the hands down. Move those blocks to the lowest height. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then from here we're going to take a down dog. So for those of you who are using blocks, you can move them if you want to, or you can keep them. That's up to you. Down dog position. Lengthen through that lower back, lengthen through your tail. Stretch through the tops of the arms, the shoulders, through everything. Get as much space as you can. Find your inhale and your exhale. One more breath here. Perfect. Let's roll forward into your plank. You're going to lower your knees to the floor, untuck your toes, bend your elbows a little bit, and start to present the chest forward. Finding that nice stretch in the front of the body, reaching from the tailbone down, but also lengthening all the way across the front of the pelvis, the hips, the chest, the belly, the shoulders. One more breath. Tuck your back toes. Come back into your down dog. Engage your core. Strong movement back. Big deep stretch. Hold here. Awesome. Take one last breath like this. Great job, guys. So we're going to lift the right leg. The right leg is going to come straight back and up. You're going to lift your left heel. It's going to give you a little bit more space between the hips. Keep reaching that right leg up. Find a big stretch here. So remember, it's all about the length that you can create. Reach through your toes. Reach through the top of your head. Find as much space from point A to point B as you can. Really get there. And then exhale and pull that right knee in towards your chest and step your right foot between your hands. So for those of you who need some time to get here, take your time. Right foot between your hands though. Spin that left heel to the mat and come all the way up into Warrior Two. The right knee stays over the ankle, the arms come out to the sides. Find that lower abdomen engaged. Find your breath. Whew. Pineapple head today. Stay strong here. Let the thigh almost become parallel with the floor. Almost out. One last breath. Perfect. Take that left hand to the back leg. Reach your right arm up. Stretch back, look for space. Right? So we have stretch coming between the pelvis or the hip bones. We have stretch coming into the thigh, into the back leg, into the sides, but also into the head. We're reaching. And the tailbone. Carry it out. Right hand. Left hand. Lift your back heel. Step back into your down dog again. Take your time to get there. 2 or 3 breaths, just breathing, just being. Exploring the spots that are maybe closed off regularly. Let's take it to the left, okay? Left leg comes up. Big stretch, reach your right heel up, really lift. Try to root all the way through that right foot and lengthen all the way through that left foot and really get that space in the spine. Let the shoulders be level, let everything open. And then carry that left knee slowly towards your chest, in between your hands. Nice, spin your right heel down to the ground. Draw that left knee over your ankle, come into warrior 2, arms out to the side. It feels like a long hold here, but it's giving you time, it's giving you opportunity to experience what needs to be experienced in this pose. Don't grip your floor. Find that space, that left knee right over the ankle. Arms reaching away from each other as the shoulders draw down so the neck can be long. One more breath. Beautiful. Take that right hand to the back leg. Keep the left leg exactly as it is. Lengthen that left arm behind you. Look for space through that whole left side of your body. In through that left middle finger. Big stretch. Keep the knee over the ankle. Keep reaching. Long hold. I know. One more though. Exhale, cartwheel it out. Left hand to the earth, right hand to the earth. Step back, down dog again. Big stretch back, find your hips lifting, heels down, as close to the ground as they can. One more deep breath in. Okay, so we're lifting this right leg again. The right leg's gonna come up, you're gonna lift your heel. It's okay to open your hip here. Actually, I'd like you to. So that means you're gonna stack your right hip over your left. Left heel will give you a little bit more height if you lift it. Bend your right knee and start to reach your right toes towards your left shoulder. You're not gonna touch your shoulder most likely, but that's the action we're going for to help stretch the front of that right thigh. Keep that knee high, keep reaching, keep opening. See if you can stretch to the front of the right rib cage. How about the right hip bone? And then again, let's take that right leg in between the hands. Spin the left heel, warrior 2. Good, awesome. Go ahead and take those hands behind your back this time. Reach the arms away, so stretch, lift, open space. And then lower that right shoulder towards that right knee. Reach the top of the head away as you push through your left pinky toe. Roll the left shoulder back. Soften your throat, soften your jaw. Awesome, 2 more breaths, just like this. 1 more, nicely done. Come all the way back at the center, find warrior 2, and then carry it out, right hand, left hand. Lift your back heel, step back, down dog. You know what's happening here, so reset as you need. Maybe sway a little bit here, see if there's a part of your leg that's not getting attention. If you've been holding your breath, now is a great time to double up that effort on breathing through your practice. This class does not go faster when you hold your breath. It just goes dizzier. So from here, lift your right heel, lift that left leg. This time we are stacking again, right? So right hip over left, Bend your right knee, bring your toes towards this is your left knee. Bend your left knee, bring your toes towards your right shoulder. Reach, 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 reach. Really work those toes towards the shoulder. Really get that space in the side waist, in the hip, in the ribs. One more breath. And carry it in. Core engages to help you. Pull that knee in. Step the foot between the hands. Spin your right heel to the earth. Come back to Warrior Two. Oof. Feel that Warrior Two strength here. And that length. Every Warrior Two getting a little bit longer. Bring those hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Move the arms back. Squeeze. Move those knuckles to the floor as you draw towards the floor. As you draw that left shoulder towards that left knee. Rotate the right shoulder back. Push through your right pinky toe. Hold here. Just keep breathing. Keep reaching though, okay? Structure that body in length and space. One more breath. Beautiful. Come back through center. Reach the arms out. Cartwheel. Left. Right. Lift your back heel. Come back to down dog. Or child's pose. Or child's pose at any time. You can skip any of these postures if that's what feels best for you. If that's what your exploration tells you to do. Release your neck, soften your jaw. So we are going to go into a variation of a side plank. I know some of you just love those and you're wondering to yourself, how can side plank possibly be stretchy? But it is. So you're going to lift your heels. You're going to lift the right foot up just a little bit so that it's off the ground. And we're going to carry that right foot behind us. So our left foot's going to come to the side and we're just going to step that right foot down. Now, I'd like you to keep both legs straight and flexed as you reach your right arm up. And then reach your right arm by your right ear and lift your hips higher. Stretching the right side, lengthening the left side, side plank. Last breath. Beautiful. You can come out the same way you came in. Right hand comes to the earth. Lift. Down dog. I know. Just a little side plank action. Ready? So that left leg's going to lift. We're going to shift forward because it is a plank. You're going to spin to the outside of that right foot. Flex both feet. Lift your hips. Reach the left arm up. It's just a stagger. You can always put your right knee on the ground. Arm by your ear. Oh, that big stretch. I hope that you're as vocal as I am when you stretch. Last breath, lift. Slide it down. Take it back to your down dog. Big stretch. And then we'll carry this right foot forward in between our hands. Go ahead and lower the left knee again. And we're going to come off of the hands and reach the arms overhead. Interlace our fingers, press the palms up, move the left hip forward. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Think of lifting the center of the head to the ceiling and lifting the center of the chest to the thumbs. As you open your elbows out to the side, we're going to turn to the right. Take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press the hands together and rotate the chest. See if you're holding back in your right glute. Is there a little bit more you can give to yourself without losing the status of the pose? Come back into center, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Straighten your right leg. You can use blocks here. Move your right hip back, let your toes face up. Just breathe. Stay long. Stay open. Open in the body, open in the mind, open into the possibilities. Awesome. Bend your right knee. Place the hands onto the floor, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. We're gonna come across that right leg and all the way into a wide leg forward fold. Both feet face forward. Hands come wherever they want to. Tailbone reaches towards the sky, head towards the earth. And because we are all levels here, for those of you who are like, this is the place I like to do my headstands, go ahead and rock out a headstand. We'll be here for about 5 or 6 breaths. Just keep breathing. Keep lengthening, keep opening. If you're in a headstand, come on back down to that wide leg forward fold. Press your hands into the floor, come up gently, slowly, everybody. And then work your way over to your left foot. So you're gonna be facing away from me if you're facing me with your mat right now. You're gonna turn your left foot out. Lift your back heel. Lower your right knee down to the ground on a blanket if you need to. And then reach the arms up. Bring the hands together in front of the chest. Let the center of your chest lift. And then rotate the body, taking that right elbow to the outside of the left knee and twist. See what happens here. Feel it in whatever way feels best. Try not to come out of it by pushing your left hip back. Inhale as you wind out, reach the arms up for a stretch. Exhale, take the hands to the earth, blocks if you need them, straighten your left leg, lift your toes, find length in the back of your left leg. Wherever that is fine. You can push through your left big toe a little bit, really find stretch, find space, find openness. And then go ahead and bend your left knee, place your hands onto the floor, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and again, carry yourself through your wide leg forward fold. Maybe you decided to do a little practice headstand here and you want to do it again, or you're just like me and you want to just kind of hang out. Shifting that weight forward towards the balls of the feet. You can even take those elbows to the ground or head to the blocks. If you're starting to think that's too easy, bring the body in a little closer to the legs. And still shift that weight towards the balls of the feet. Again, accessing stretch and strength and length in the back of the legs. Tailbone points to the ceiling. Last 3 breaths for those of you who might be in headstand. Alrighty, out we go. Hands to the floor. Lift halfway, take it all the way over to your right. Awesome. Tuck your right leg back. We're going to down dog. Big stretch here, child's pose for those of you who need it. Our head's been down for a while, so you might feel a little uncomfortable having your head down this long, so take child's pose, it'll help. Last breath. Shifting through our plank. Again, lowering the knees, bending the elbow, just a little bit, untucking the toes, lifting the center of the chest. Finding that breath, finding that space, finding that openness. One more breath. Beautiful, bend both your knees, come through hands and knees posture. Reach your right arm to the sky, stretch to the ceiling. Carry it under your left arm, take your right cheek to the floor. Thread the needle. Press through your left hand, come into hands and knees. Reach your left arm up, stretch to the ceiling. Underneath your right arm, thread your needle. Press through your right hand, come all the way up. Okay. So we are going to either sit on your knees, or on blocks, or cross-legged, whatever feels best for you. But this is the time in which we're going to use our strap, okay? So if you don't have a strap, that's okay. I will give you a modification for that. And if you do have a strap but don't need it, that's okay too. I am going to turn my body from the camera though, so that you can see where we're going. There's another leg position you can do in this, which is to cross one knee over top of the other. It's not really accessible for a lot of people without injuring their knees, so I'm not showing it as of right now since we didn't work on a lot of knee mobility today. So we have our strap, and we're going to hold one end of the tail with our right hand, and we're going to reach that tail up into the sky, like we're trying to get the attention of somebody. The strap will be behind us. We'll bend the right elbow and let the hand hang wherever it goes, and the strap hang with it. The left arm is going to come forward from our body. You're going to turn the palm out and reach back. So now my palm is facing the back wall. I'll bend my left elbow and grab the strap somewhere. So it might be that I have space between the two hands here. Or it might be that I could start to work my left hand closer to my right, and maybe I hold the strap here. Or maybe I can grab hold of my arms. Once I'm in this position, I'm going to bring my head back towards my arms and sit tall. And I want to think about expanding through the center of my chest, opening through my shoulders, and breathing. Now, if you don't have a strap and you can't grab your hands, you can also just grab the back of your shirt. So you can hold the back of your shirt on each direction, top of the shirt and bottom of the shirt. We're going to be here for about 10 breaths from this point. So this is a long hold for this posture. So just breathing, finding it in whatever manner we can, trying to bring the head back to help increase the stretch and the open space, seeing if we can feel the pressure at the back of the chest, helping to open the center of the chest where we hide some of our darker guests, our darker experiences. Maybe 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to release. We'll take that strap and place it down for a moment. I'm sitting on mine, so give me a second. And let the arms rest. See how heavy they feel. See what's going on with them. Let that blood flow and circulation come back into play. Notice how your head wants to roll forward. See if you can bring it back a little bit. If the center of your chest has remained uplifted and most buoyant. And then we'll strap to the left. So holding the strap at the end piece, carrying that strap straight up to the sky, bending that left elbow so that the strap hangs between the shoulder blades wherever that is the spine, reaching your right arm forward, flipping the palm, bringing it out to the side, bending at your right elbow, moving your ribs in, grabbing the strap. Maybe you stay here. This might be your happy space for today. We don't want to do anything that hurts the shoulders. You might be down low. That can feel a lot better on people with shoulder injuries. Or you're walking your hands together and holding hands. Or holding your holding your shirt. The left elbow is behind you. You're not letting it roll in by your ear. It's coming back. We have a little bit of engagement in the ribs. The belly button is pulled towards the spine, hard to tell. I'm wearing a big shirt, so it's hard to tell, but I am engaging my abdomen here and lifting through my pelvic floor. And holding for 10 breaths starting here. Seeing if you can just get into those deeper spots. You can always do this sitting on your buttocks, guys, or on a chair. Last breath. And release. Move that strap to the side. Let the hands rest back onto the lap, wherever you are, however you're seated. Let the shoulders open. See that you can feel that warm kind of flow of blood and circulation going in, or energy even, going into the arms, the forearms, the upper arms, maybe across the chest, maybe down the sides of the ribs. Let's take one more breath like that. We're going to transition out of this using a toe stand so we have a little bit of balance in our day. So we're going to tuck our toes. You can place your hands on the floor and just lift your knees. Some people like to lift their knees without their hands. You can do that too. We're just going to get right onto our hands, onto our thighs. Let the chest lift. Find that nice toe stand. Maybe the hands come together. Maybe you're somebody who likes to cross one leg on top of the other. Maybe you'd like to challenge your balance and increase the lever here. And then from this position, we're going to come all the way back down onto our buttocks. Nice. And we're going to extend our legs. You can move the flesh of the buttocks out of the way here. You can also sit on the edge of a blanket if you'd like to. And then we're going to go ahead and come into a forward fold. So having your strap again could be very helpful here. You're going to take hold of that strap and place it on the ball of the feet and let the elbows come in nice and close. The shoulders are going to draw down. We're going to lift the center of the chest. And then from here, maybe the straps can come together for a moment. And we can start to slowly walk our hands down those straps. Just very slowly. It doesn't have to be much, right? Depends what you've been up to lately. I've been running more, so my hamstrings are pretty upset with me lately. So we're bringing our chest forward. For those of you who need that extra support, try bending your knees and placing a block or blanket underneath of them so that you can get that stretch in your back without having to overextend your hamstrings. Your hamstrings are only going to go so far, guys. You have a tough body, right? This house is built of steel or whatever is stronger than steel. So you have a lot to work with, and you're not going to be able to change it in an hour. You're not going to be able to change it in 20 seconds. You might not be able to change it in a year. It takes time to undo the tension in the body. It takes time to accept limitations so that we can build and move through our limitations. So as you're working your way down the strap, you might be that person who can grab the bottoms of the feet without really jeopardizing your upper back, which is fine. See if you can keep flexion in the feet, press the big toes forward, and then just let the body fold in whatever manner it feels best. Even taking a block to your shins to get rid of that need to round your spine too much to get down there. This alone, if you're hanging out in this posture, will start to just open your body. You can also have a chair in front of you and just let your head rest on the chair. These little tiny changes, these little tiny movements, even though they look like you're cheating, you are not. You are working to increase your flexibility and stretch. One more breath. And then we're going to come all the way out. And I'm going to turn around so my head faces faces the right direction. And we're going to pull our knees into our chest. Okay. So let's go into a twist real quick so that we have one before we lay down in Shavasana. That right knee is going to come towards the chest, and that left leg is going to extend. And we're going to hold here first, just letting the whole back body stretch. Let's stay here for another breath. And let's place the hands under the right thigh. Bring that knee in a little closer. And see if we can extend the right leg wherever it goes. So for those of you who have a lot of flexibility here, your leg might come right on down to your nose. You might have your hands on your feet or your ankles or your toes or something, but I'd like you to keep the idea of stretch. So length in the leg and length in the spine and length in the side bodies. So if you're trying to grab your foot and you're doing this, you're collapsing. Let's try to keep length. Awesome. Bend that right knee. We'll take it to a twist. So we're going to take that left hand to the outside of the right knee, right arm away from you. And over to that left hip. And twist. Maybe there's a blanket under your knee or a block. Maybe that's not needed today. You can scooch this left hip back a little bit so that both buttocks are off the floor. Or I should say the back of the buttocks are. And even here, we're looking for that stretch, we're looking for that space. We're softening those glutes and not gripping through your thighs. And we're allowing the revolution of the spine, the rotation of the spine. Let's do one last breath like this. And then we're going to come out slow. Right back onto our spines again, right back onto our backs. Extend your right leg. First, pull the left knee into your chest. Maybe the hands are in the front of the shin to start. This is good to start. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go to that extension right off the bat. You can give yourself time. You can give yourself time. And then maybe the hands come underneath of the thigh and you can extend the leg. Wherever you are is fine as long as you're not losing your stretch just to grab there. Give it time. We're here for a little bit, right? You have time to let this work its way into your body. You don't have to fight it. You're almost out. Wherever you need to be is fine. And then let's go ahead and bend that left knee. Right hand to the outside of your left knee. Carry that knee across your body. Maybe scoot your right hip away from you a little bit. Give yourself time. Breath, space, openness. Maybe you like to have a blanket underneath your knee or a block. Maybe you can keep your left shoulder down on the floor to give yourself a twist all the way up and down the spine, not just in the lower back. So nice and slow unwind. And then reach your legs down onto the floor and stretch your arms. Get that big, deep stretch through the fingertips of the toes. And then let the arms rest down by your sides and your legs get nice and wide. Readjust your clothing so that you feel fully comfortable laying on the floor. Allow your eyes to close. Your breath to soften. Use this breath to start to explore the caverns of your body. Feel the parts that have been opened. Feel the parts that have been swept clean. Travel deep into the recesses of the lungs. Explore the caverns around the heart and in the heart. Feel the attention and breath traveling behind the heart, into your shoulder blades and shoulders. Find your attention into your clavicle, across the front of your chest. Find the space in the arms and the joints of the arms and hands. Allow your attention to swirl down your spine, around your spine, through the rib cage, around the muscle of the abdomen and of the waist, of the sides. Explore the back body and its connection to the earth, and the muscle and its connection to the skin, and the skin and its connection to the ground below you, and the floor and the clothing. Explore the abdomen, the hips and pelvis, the spaces between your hips, the spaces between the organs, the spaces within the organs. Explore the buttocks, the sides, the hips outside the hip bones. Travel through your thighs, through your knees, through the backs of your legs, through the space where the legs and the glutes meet, through your shins and your calves, your ankles. Tops and bottoms of your feet into your toes. Find the spaces of the joints. And then let that breath travel all the way through the body, all the way back to the chest, and locate the spots in your throat and neck, in your jaw and your tongue. All the way up through the bridge of your nose, your eyes, your forehead, the back of your head, your ears. Find your spaces. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Imagine all of those spaces filled with cleansing breath, the nourishment of your breath. And as you exhale, take one last full exhalation, either through the nose or through the mouth with a sigh, and let go of everything that was stuck, everything that was hiding, everything that was holding on to you. And smile as it departs. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes and roll over onto your right side into the fetal position. Press your left hand into the ground and come all the way up into seated, finding whatever it is you need to sit comfortably. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart and bow your head to the guru within, the Adi Guru. The guru within could be the simplest thing. It could be the greatest truth around us. It could be your intuition. It could be the words of your mother and father or your teachers or lover. That which guides you towards the light. I'm so happy to be able to share this practice with you. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming, and have a wonderful Wednesday. Namaste.